The first thing I ever remember in a psychology lecture is being told about the Milgram studies. Stanley Milgram, who was a psychology professor at Yale, was of Jewish origin. His family had only very narrowly escaped Nazi tyranny in the Second World War. A lot of people thought it was inconceivable that the German people could as a whole turn to tyranny, could turn to Nazism and fascism in the way that they had. And yet what Milgram's contemporaries had observed was that a whole nation was in a way swept up in this tide of hate. So Milgram's kind of motivation was to understand to what extent could ordinary people be turned to perpetrators of tyranny and evil.
An experiment is being conducted in the Elegant Interaction Laboratory at Yale University.
At the same time, the trial of Adolf Eichmann in 1961, Stanley Milgram put adverts in the New Haven newspapers asking for members of the public to come to his laboratory and take part in an experiment on the effects of punishment on learning.
I'm going to ask one of you to be the teacher and the other to be the learner.
The learner then sits down and has to remember these pairs of words.
Blue girl, nice day, fat neck, and so forth.
Fat man, lady, tub, neck.
The teacher reads them out words. Every time the learner incorrectly pair a word with the target word, the teacher's job is to administer punishment to them, a short electric shock, starting with 15 volts, going up in 30 15-volt intervals, all the way to 450 volts.
Wrong. 45 volts.
75 volts.
About 90 volts, the learner goes, ow! 105.
Oh!
And then he gets to 150 and he's going, let me out of here.
You have no right to keep me here. Let me out.
And it escalates thereafter.
Oh!
In fact, the whole structure of the experiment was a very cunning bit of, if you like, theatre, because what they were really interested in was the willingness of the participant, who was the teacher,
Go on, please.
to follow toxic instructions and inflict pain on another person.
I can't stand the pain.
The true participant was always going to be a teacher.
So, learner, would you step out here with me, please?
The learner was actually a collaborator of Milgram's, and in fact the cries of pain had actually been pre-recorded.
Let me out.
That guy's hollering in there. Continue, please. Go on.
Interestingly, when you go through the archives, a critical piece is what Milgram did to make them want to do what they did.
The experiment requires that you continue, teacher.
All right, next one, slow.
He set this up as a really important piece of science, and you're making a great contribution to science by participating in it.
It is essential that you continue the experiment.
Him selling that project, the enterprise, as something that was good and worthy,
Let me out. Let me out. Let me out of here.
was absolutely critical to their continuation.
Shall I stop?
The experiment requires that we go on.
They saw his goals as worthy and valid. They saw the science of the study as important. They understood what they were doing to be a good thing, not a bad thing.
450 volts.
450 volts.
450 volts.
65% of the participants went all the way to the end of the shock board, past a point labeled danger XXX. But the Milgram studies suggested that the average person in the street would be willing to kill someone just because it was asked of them in a piece of scientific research. And of course, that was a shocking, surprising, alarming, hugely provocative finding.